Hi everyone. It's been a while, but here we are. We're uh, we're one day away from the new year, and I'm back again. Just once before the new year. Gonna do a little bit of horror work tonight. Big boy. Um, Turning out to be quite interesting. I gotta touch up the outside because it got a little damaged, and just after setting it down for a while and walking away and not looking at it, you can see where there need to be improvements made. More so than the last one. But on the good note, I've been busy on the inside. I don't know how well you guys can see it, but you notice these wonderfully shiny mirror tiles. We have begun the process of disco balling the inside of our room. And that's been fun. Pain in the ass. Massively, but fun. Fun fact about little glass mirror tiles is glass shards. No, not fun whatsoever. But they do look good. Kinda. They don't line up perfectly. So they're not like perfectly laid out. Which kind of disappointing from what I wanted. But it is what it is. However, I think it's going to be really cool, especially if I can find a clip-on, well, not clip-on, but stick-on LED light for the top. That way I can just flick it on and all the light reflects off the tiles. Because both the ear flaps are getting them too. I just ran out. Had enough for all of them, for the whole entire inside top, but not enough for the flaps, of course. But I've also noticed a problem with them sticking, especially on like the rounder outer parts. So like there needs to be a little bit of pressure continuously applied. If they keep on falling down, I'm gonna end up painting them. Well, not painting, gluing them on. I don't think I could do a top coat on this. I think that would screw up the shine and reflection. So if they keep on falling, we're gonna have to glue them down. It's gonna be a massive pain in the ass. Because they're really small. Like really, really small. But that is a problem for another day. I have until October to get this done for GraniCon of next year. So we're going to touch up the inside a little. And then we are going to set this aside. And we're going to work on some other stuff, like a funky little small diorama. And this dude, the Beefy Nightingale 2.0 LSD edition. So, there are a few lines that I would like to thin out and redo with a different color. Especially because if you guys haven't seen any pictures, they're like the bulky red and black lines, which were kind of the guide, the initial guides of how I wanted the pattern. But now that I have the thinner lines laid down, they're too distracting in the pattern, or at least to me. So I am going to start filling them in with different lines. and try to blend it into an actual going pattern. We're starting with purple. We're back to good color. Phoenician purple. A little later on, when we get more people in the audience, I will go over the St. Jude's build, which is going to be fun. And we're going to talk about some other stuff. I need to get a second camera. One that I can just have hanging over the desk so you guys can watch. I do. You know, I was thinking about it the other day. I was looking at the two of these, and I really want a third one. I will kill for a third one because I want to do a round geode style on a third one. Because I have the random squiggles, and then I have the straight lines and triangles and sharp angles. But I want it round. I want these round little shapes. And I think it'd be really cool, because I think if I did that, I'd stick with, like, some of the blob shapes being a series of, like, different blues. So, like, one blob might be 10 shades of blue. The next one might be an overlapping shade of, like, 10 different reds. I want to do it. But these have gotten expensive. And no one is giving away another one that I can do. Shout out to Meg for doing this so I could get this one. But I think that'd be cool. I don't know what I'm going to do when I'm done with these ones, because this has been like a year-long endeavor. I do, I got my 3D printer in, and I got it leveled out. And it works, and it's not broken. Fun fact, I had gotten one in from Amazon a week ago, and one of the glass panels came and shattered. And Amazon's like, we can replace it because we have none of these left in stock. So my mom got a refund because this was a graduation Christmas gift combo. And now I have the LED Mars resting comfortably over there out of frame. And I am so excited for it. Terribly. Unfortunately, I don't think my computer can run Blender, which stinks because I've always wanted to resculpt like my Toothy and my Lumpy. For those of you who don't know, like this little mini toy that I sculpted and traditionally molded with resin. But I've always wanted to make it into like a 3D file. That way I can just print it and sell them. But I am excited because I want a 3D print a little DJ table for this dude. For the inside. And then like, I don't know if get another Haro, like a DJ Haro. But I want it to be like a party theme. I don't know how to add music to this. Like small components without drilling in holes anywhere, or if I can add it to the base. But like, just when like you pop open the ears or something along that line, the music playing, it's kind of like a weird Haro music box. I think that'd be cool. Maybe I'll figure it out. Somebody wanted a specific song. Blanking on the name. I was thinking, something disco-y, like September or something along that lines. It'd be funky. Looking carefully at this, I can start to see little gaps, but aren't painted at all. But it's so difficult to tell with the current ongoing pattern. And if you guys can hear it in the background, we are currently listening to an audiobook about Vincent van Gogh. I feel bad for the guy. Dude was clearly neurodivergent in a very bad time. Just look at Vincent van Gogh and you tell me he's not on the spectrum.
Felix Holt tells the story of a rough young man who repudiates his family legacy to pursue a life of political and religious fervor among the working class, and in doing so, redefines failure. In both Adam Bede and Scenes of a Clerical Life, flawed, guilt-racked men achieve heroic martyrdom by ministering to the poor and living a life of utter self-abnegation, freely ignoring Eliot's cynical view of religion in general and evangelism in particular. Vincent found inspiration.
See, I hate... This room is really dark. And unfortunately for, painting, that can be a pain in the ass. So, I need to turn this on, but then it glares into this. My ring right broke on that. I regret changing the wall paint from the teal to the purple. Purple looks nice, don't get me wrong. Terrible with light absorption. Constantly darker than what it used to be. I can help it, it's in the middle of winter.
In what was surely a painful exercise, he prepared a brief autobiography, Nathan's tense or life sketch, that combined guilty half-truths, hopeful inflations, and abject pleas. Father, make me as one of thy hired servants. Be merciful to me, a sinner. In June, while still in Ramsgate, he sent the statement to a preacher in London. When I lived in London, I often attended your church, he wrote. Now, I would ask for your recommendation as I look for a position. In fact, London was swarming with missions. In a backwash from the tide of secularization that had swept over Victorian England earlier in the century, religion was once again seen as the solution to society's every ill. By the 1870s, a consensus had emerged among the bourgeoisie that rising crime rates and intractable poverty did not reflect underlying flaws in their bright new world, but rather ominous signs of a spiritual deficit. Restive workers lacked faith, not rights, and no social problem could long resist the beneficial effects of charity and religious instruction. As a result, money poured into new sects, revivals, preachers, and Charles Spurgeon. And
Don't you guys just love revivals,
especially those
preachers?
aimed at the poor and working classes. More than 500 charitable societies doled out more than £7 million.
The irony of Van Gogh's life. Become more religious. Becomes more religious. And then he still had child from his family.
So fanatic was the belief in the benefits of Bible distribution that it was recognized as a new religious calling, called portage. Spurgeon established an entire school just to train porteurs, men and women who took Bibles from door to door among classes almost inaccessible to such influences. So-called Bible carriages roamed the busy streets carrying big-voiced men reading scripture loaded with stacks of the good book. On crowded street corners, members of the Society for Open-Air Preaching enlightened passers-by. In railway stations, foreign travelers were astonished to find large Bibles chained in waiting rooms, while in the parks, dozens of lay preachers stood reading with a Bible in one hand and an umbrella in the other. At the same time, more than 1,000 paid missionaries fanned out across London, from the hellishly overcrowded city to the farthest and newest working-class suburbs. Evangelical churches like Spurgeon's spearheaded.
See, that's one of the thick lines that I'd like to fill in with a few different colors. Just because it really stands out, especially on this one with a lot of the thinner lines. Typically, I wouldn't complain about the variation, I just don't think it fits.
Wayward servants, and abused children. In 1875, the year before Vincent returned to London, a former lay preacher named William Booth led a new ministry to win back the hearts of the working class with a combination of evangelism, missionary assistance, and soul-rousing music. He called his group the Salvation Army.
Fun fact, guys, Salvation Army is terrible. I don't know if you guys can hear this audiobook. I don't know if my mic picked that up. It is a good book, though. Like 40 fucking hours long, but it's good. I am 7 hours in. And only something like 5 chapters. I have the physical book, and it like was fucking thick, and it just chronicles Van Gogh's life. Shit is fucked.
Even Vincent's pessimistic parents were taken aback by his lack of success. One would think that it would be easy to find a position in such a big world, Papa wrote. On the other hand, his failure may have betrayed his doubts about the way forward. I see a light in the distance so clearly, he admitted to Theo. But that light disappears now. Vincent offered only a single improbable explanation for his failure to find any kind of suitable position. One must be at least 24 years old, he wrote both Theo and his parents. It was the unassailable excuse of a man afraid to risk further rejection. It is very doubtful whether I shall make great progress in this profession, he concluded, only weeks after his initial foray. Instead of persisting or exploring serious alternatives, his mind quickly drifted to exotic and unlikely scenarios. Inspired perhaps by melodramatic newspaper accounts of poverty and suffering in the coal fields, often accompanied by graphic black and white illustrations, he considered going off to the mining districts in western England to minister to the miners. He even briefly contemplated beginning a mission to South America, but all of those ideas, too, came to nothing. His ambition to be a missionary lasted barely more than a month. By the beginning of July, he had retreated to his room in Isleworth, claiming a martyrdom of rejection, and still looking for the light in the distance. He dismissed his teaching job as frustrating and humiliating. After a final round of broken promises and futile bargaining, he left Stokes School. He told his parents that he resigned, but later hinted that Stokes had fired him, or was about to. Meanwhile, he drifted into an almost identical position at another boys' school, only a few hundred yards away. On July 8th, he had moved to Home Court, the school run by the Reverend Thomas Slade Jones, while continuing to work part-time for Stokes. The halting transition confused his parents, who especially welcome, because Vincent advertised slave jobs at school as more fashionable. Oh, nothing is clear yet, Doris protested. One thing was clear, however. Vincent was not happy. He wrote his parents melancholy letters complaining about the job, the school, and his loneliness. The students were on their summer break. He is going through a difficult time, they reported to Theo. His life is not easy. I think it's a matter of dreading his work among the boys, Monica. I think he is afraid that he will fail. She flatly predicted that Vincent would not be able to stay in that profession. He needed a new direction that would mold him for everyday life and make his life happier and calmer. She even offered a suggestion. I wish he could work in nature or art. That would be grounds for hope. It wasn't until August that Vincent found his direction again, and it wasn't the one his mother suggested. Only 2 days before a planned visit to see Harry Gladwell, who was spending the summer holidays with his family outside London, Vincent received word that Harry's 17-year-old sister had died in a riding accident. He immediately set out on a 6-hour walk, crossing London from one end to the other. He arrived just as the mourning family returned from the funeral. The spectacle of pain overwhelmed him. He felt something truly holy in the house and longed to connect with it, but couldn't. I felt a kind of shyness and shame, he confessed to Theo the next day. I wanted to console him, but I felt embarrassed. Only with his old friend Harry could Vincent play the role that burned inside him. On the long walk, they talked about everything, Vincent wrote. The key
She
to the job,
paintbrushes
the
it,
Bible, just as they had in Paris. As they paced up and down the train platform, Vincent poured forth a manic, sermon-like stream of consolation. In that moment, he said, he felt the ordinary world suddenly animated by thoughts that were not ordinary. Soon after that, he decided to become a preacher. For Vincent, preaching meant only one thing: consolation. At the core of his theology, where Catholicism put sin and punishment, the Dutch Reformed Church was solace. The unspeakable consolation of a watchful, caring God filled the Church's founding documents, the formularies of unity. In the embattled religious outpost of Sunderland, a preacher's first duty was to comfort, not to convert. Doris Van Gogh provided spiritual consolation and financial support to his precarious flock.
I don't know how well you
At
guys can
times
tell.
of sickness and
We
death,
just started
he
showing
brought
them the
proof
gaps
against the loneliness in his life.
on the bigger lines. Some of them are gonna need more, like right here
In ordinary
and
times,
right
he
here.
calmed their worries.
But I think the thinner lines we get in there, the more we fill it in, the better it's gonna look. Especially if we can try and like connect the patterns. A little more yellows. Not a lot of yellow in this, but it's very bold. It stands out. I kind of like that. I don't use yellow a whole lot. This year I think was the first year, but I used yellow as like several major palette colors. I think next year I want to focus on more green than anything. I mean, I think besides for the high gog frog, I didn't use a lot of green. I'm always worried that I'm going to touch that paint and it's going to smudge. So, what else I've been working on is my funky little Haku dioramas. Hello, Uncle Ricky. Can you hear me now? You just missed me showing off the big ball and what you saw it. I put disco ball. Hold on, I gotta show you. I don't know if you saw this. Try not to smudge the paint. I started putting in disco tiles on the inside. Look at that. I don't know how well you can see it, but on the top part, disco tiles. And I want to get like a cap on LED light so that it shines and sparkles when I turn it on. And I don't know if I'm going to add music to the bass or to try and figure out how to add it in. But I'm going to put disco music to it. And then I'm going to put a little DJ booth on the inside. And then a little disco floor and then a harrow. Back if my idiots didn't get the best of me, I might change it, but I am really, really dead set on that. Because between that, the St. Jude build, now that we have a couple of people in here, to the 2 people watching with thanks. The St. Jude's build up is a fun, family-friendly, not really family-friendly, nothing I do is family-friendly, build for the kids. Simple as that. January 16th to April 16th. Trying to raise as close as we can to $1,000 for St. Jude's nonprofit charity for kids with cancer. St. Jude's did not charge these families a damn dime. They don't charge for food, they don't charge for housing, for cancer treatments. St. Jude covers the cost of everything, and they do this by the donations. So the aim for Build for Kids 2023 is to raise as much as we can to $1,000 and above. If we can hit 2K, I will let the internet decide which hero of mine gets torched. I will put out a list that people can vote on. Granted, I'm pretty sure what's going to get the most votes. And I will take a torch and light that baby on fire. I'm tired. I've been up since like 6 in the morning. I had work today. Losing my train of thought. Build for Kids is sponsored by USA Gundam. Ryan has been awesome, and did I say Ryan? Names. USA Gundam. They are sponsoring kits, builds, and all that. They are adding in some master grades, some high grades, and all that. And then we have a few other people like Chris Meddings, who is tossing in some books, scale modeling books, and a few other people tossing in kits. And then we're going to raffle those off at the end to people who have participated, donated, or just have been a big old help. Because I'm not quite good on this sharing on social media. So I've had a lot of help from like Selfie and all sorts of people on the internet. And for those of you who don't know, the Cutting That podcast is back with a couple cool uploads. Uncle Ricky and the Gang, and Built Sideways is back. Julio, you can fight me. Squirrel. But if you want to listen to Chris Pads and a Gaggle of Gangs of Geese talk about hobby stuff, go listen. Go check it out. And if you want, you can always check out Creepin for Scale Models.com. Finally got the domain fixed on that. So I use WordPress for the website. And I had the basic plan, but I had bought the domain for it. And for the longest time it wouldn't work, and it wouldn't work until it started working today. No idea why. So now I don't have to use the WordPress link to it. I can actually use my own link. Good stuff. But now, once I put the big Haro off to dry for a bit, because I am always worried about smudging when I work on that. Because I smudged the last one, the first one, this one, 1,000,001 times when painting it. and it was a pain in the ass to clean up, so I try my hardest not to. So what we're doing right now is I am back on my goop gang. I got these silicone mats, which are great for hot glue, minus the fact they pick up dirt and crap like no tomorrow. So I gotta keep a roll of tape just to clean it off. But what I am doing right now is I have this little Hario guy, little dude, small dude, petite, and I have the Hario part painted, but I was just gonna paint it up and do it like just a normal little standalone, but I want to do a little diorama, as we know I love my goopy dioramas. So at Michael's, like a month or so back, they were having a sale on these little wooden panels, and I think originally they were like $1 or $1 a piece, but they were half off, so they were like 50 cents. So I grabbed a stack of them. Shout out to Michael's for having a teacher discount. So I got a discount on top of that. So I got a bunch of these, and thinking of somehow menagerie or like making a little goofy post-apocalyptic diorama. Like, for those of you who don't know, I'm working on like a foot-by-foot kind of in the same style as my other ones, of this little post-apocalyptic themed bacterial infection, whatever it is. I don't entirely know what it is. I'm going with it. I enjoy it. But it's fungal. I've been watching a lot of video essays on like Resident Evil and The Last of Us and Arrival. Annihilation, for those of you who don't know, has rocked my scale modeling world. Forever the dodo for not watching that faster. But I've been playing into like these dioramas. So I kind of want to do like a small little scenic where this little guy is being absorbed into the landscape. And we're going to add in like little fungal growth, or at least try and find out a way, because he's missing a foot. I don't know where the foot went. No idea. But I'm thinking about taking the Hario out and connecting him to the base with hot glue, painting it, and then sticking the Hario back in, because I like how it's painted. If I can take it out. Difficult. He's all a little painted. And just have like it be like fused into the base. I paint it up, put the Hario back in, close it down, add in the lichen and all that. So what I've been doing with the hot glue and the silicone is like shaping out some fungal growths, kind of something to texture up the base with, backdrop wise, and making these round little discs I can cut in half and kind of add in on like oyster mushrooms as a fancy term, exact term, cordyceps. But that's just it for tonight. If this gets too warm, which Sometimes if the hot glue just gets too warm because like I have the heat on, it'll be kind of stickier and tackier to work with. So I might have to let it like cool down. Then we'll go over to the Nightingale, which has been an endeavor. Pads, if you're listening, you're gonna be proud. I actually have primed every single piece of the Nightingale. All of it. Look at that, it primed. Prime purple. So that's what I'm doing today. I was in the middle of work today and I'm like, it'll be a good, cool thing to do. Do a live stream. I haven't done that. I want to get back to doing more of them. I feel like I was on a good roll of doing them and then I stopped. So what I do for these is I just pour the glue on to the mat and it kind of spreads out while it cools down. And then I cut it in half. See, I need to get a stepping camera for this. See? Cut it in half. And for like these, what I've liked to do is I've also liked to kind of decorate the back too. That way this isn't just blank. It's personal preference. So what I do with these is I take it and I just tucked it up to the tip of the glue gun. Careful not to burn yourself. I've done that 1,000,001 times. And then I just attach it to the base. If you want, you could always dabble some hot glue. I have a buddy, Logan, who will use a hot knife to sculpt the hot glue and give it texture and ridges and stuff. You could probably do that and make gills on the hot glue to make it look more of a fungal growth. But preference-wise, I just do this. I don't have a hot gun. And I don't trust myself with hot gun. I burn myself very easily. I'm constantly burning my hands with hot glue gun. But you can do these in all sorts of sizes. You can do small ones, little tiny ones. I've been looking into getting or even making small, little round, almost bead sides spear halves molds, if that makes sense. That way I can get a nice little round blob of shape on this to give it more like a slime mold texture. If you guys don't know what slime molds are, they're not technically molds, but they're still cool looking nonetheless. And I think adding it onto a diorama would be funky and good. I did make some mushrooms. But I did make some little hot glue mushrooms that I've been adding onto the big diorama. Looks fun. And we are almost done with chapter 8, surprisingly, with the Van Gogh book. It's a very detailed Van Gogh book. I am surprised that there are this wide of a variety of information on Van Gogh.
slight heart family of his employer, the Reverend Thomas Slade Jones, and his wife Annie. With their 6 children and parsonage lifestyle, the Slade Joneses seemed perfectly suited to fill the void in Vincent's life. Like the Sunderd parsonage, Bolton Fort wasn't a self-sustaining island. Great trees shading its courtyard, vines overgrowing its walls, and the contingent of large.
I like these silicone mats, but man, they pick up like every little hair and detail. Like any paint bits or just junk from a work desk, because I don't really clean it off too often. I probably should.
In the nostalgic ritual, he decorated the house with greenery for the holidays. He poured days of painstaking labor into the visitor's book that Andy maintained, filling page after page from edge to edge with tiny script. He transcribed his favorite hymns, Bible verses, poetry, and prose, in French, German, and Dutch, as well as English, in a manic bid for belonging. His search for family even took him back to the lawyers. In November, braving certain awkwardness and a long walk in the bitter London winter, he returned to the house on Hackford Road to wish Ursula a happy birthday. In the end, however, neither. Neither the Gladwells, nor the Slade Joneses, nor the lawyers could fill the void. Only one family could do that. In October, the news of Leo's illness and becoming of Christmas combined to create a fresh surge of nostalgia and homesickness. Both Sunderd and me cried. Memories of you are sometimes almost overpowering. Everywhere he went, he saw images of home. On visits to London galleries, he lingered with
Right now, I'm just doing small dabs of hot glue,
his students stories
just for like the fungal habs and to get like some little slime mold patches.
play toys of giants and Gulliver's Travels. He rehearsed the journey again and again in his imagination. How delightful it will be to sail down the Thames and across the sea, he wrote, to see those friendly Dutch shores and church spires in the distance. He reread the poetry of his childhood and copied out old favorites like Longfellow, bathed in memory and longing. I see the lights of the village gleam through the rain and the mist, and a feeling of sadness comes over me that my soul cannot resist. It was visions like these that led Vincent to beg Reverend Slade Jones for time off to visit his sick brother in The Hague. His first request was rejected, but Vincent pleaded and cajoled so pitifully that Slade Jones finally relented. Write to your mother, he said. If she approves, I will too. But she did not approve. In a devastating blow, Anna Vetko wrote back that Vincent should wait until Christmas to come home, and may God give us a happy meeting then. Vincent said nothing in his letters.
Man, I feel bad for Vincent Van Gogh.
Poured his heartbreak into the sermon he preached a week later. The journey of our life goes from the loving breast of our mother on earth to the arms of our Father in heaven.
Dude just wanted a loving mother.
One of us forgotten the golden hours of our early days at home. And since we left that home, for many of us have had to leave that home. Once his mother rejected his bid to return, Vincent lost enthusiasm for everything else. His round robin of duties between Home Court, Peterson Chapel, and the Iron Church in Turnham Green now seemed nothing but a burden. Even his beloved walk became cause for complaint in his letters home. Instead of a pilgrim, he described himself as Slade Jones' walking boy, trekking about the countryside on senseless, superhuman journeys.
I'm thinking about making the mold making on these things, and I really would like more round hot glue shapes.
Tuition bills on his visits to students' parents, many of them poor. Slade Jones himself was
It does make me wonder if I do it.
wages.
I wonder if I angle the silicone mat,
Takes care of those who work.
I can make more droplet-like shapes.
Obsessed with the coming of Christmas and the prospect of reuniting with his family, the crowded days could not pass fast enough.
I wonder.
Longing for Christmas, and for you all, he wrote to you.
These silicone mats is on
In these few months,
Amazon relatively
he
cheap.
sat exhausted in his room.
I want to say they were like $5, but they do a good job on it.
Relived
Let's see, where am I gonna put this?
especially his last-minute return to California 2 years earlier, before his great
Grab the second one.
show of snow-covered poplars.
I think one of the greatest things this year that I've done and played around with is the pursuit of different textures on Gunpla. I think that's one of the strongest methods that I've done so far. And I really enjoy it. There's something fun and rejuvenating and a little enlightening about taking a hobby step in the direction that you want to. I know there's this whole push for perfection in my hobby, and not even perfection, I don't know what to call it. A pursuit of nomenclature, or even picture box. Make the kid what it looks like on the box, which isn't a bad thing, but just pick a whole plethora of possibility you could be doing with your Gundam. It's a blank canvas. Nothing wrong with snap building. I can't get behind it. And fun fact, if you do hang up a silicone mat, you can get drips. I shouldn't have smoked before doing this live stream. But I think this will be a good one. You guys can't see it, but I'm getting this really cool drip. Water droplet shapes. Joe, what are you up to tonight? I forgot to ask. And we are 15 minutes in. And when we hit the 15-minute mark, actually, we can wrap this up a little early. Test stream, testing the water to heat, which would be the better times to get back into streaming. I feel like a lot of people have dropped off the streaming this year compared to the last 2 years. I know I have, and I'd like to get back on it. But I'm going to work through. I'm going to see which night goes better. If you guys want to hang out with me, I am on Instagram, Twitch, sorta, Twitter all the time. Tumblr has been my new favorite obsession, and I dig it. So yeah, thanks for hanging out on a test stream. Episode 41. Get back into the drift. Catch you guys later on.